everyone. Oh my god!
Morning,
morning, everyone. Just welcome back to TVI.
You got a little snapshot of Julian Deane monologue
God.
there. That just sort of came out.
I think I'll snip that. I'll leave it in the Patreon episode.
I was just
Julian
putting it in the
sound check, just saying words, and just fucking
putting
hell,
it in
man.
the porn search engine.
Welcome back, episode 233 of the TVI podcast. Cole Donnelly here.
Well done, huge milestone.
233.
Yeah.
That's what they say, mate.
Yeah.
You get past
Is that why you've got me
right.
on special guest for the 233rd episode?
It's just
we need a big
hurdles.
hitter for this one. Yeah,
midway.
We're gonna have to call in the big dog for the 233rd.
Yeah. It's so
Halfway mark.
Yeah, so we've sort of now we get halfway mark, and then we can just end our lives on the 466.
Middle
Have you got
aged.
a number in mind that you're going for? Is it?
Not really. Mine's just when Julian
2, 3, 4
goes down, basically.
So like 234 then probably.
See if the prison's got good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think that'll be it. Once Julian gets in trouble, then we'll do a final farewell episode, and I'll just carry on my own.
Awesome.
No, I don't know. I've not got any. It doesn't really. I don't have ideas of when it's going to.
I'd like to do
Isn't
it
it?
forever.
233. That's a.
It's a lot
done.
of shit to talk, innit, man?
Yeah.
You would
Seeing as we've got no topic,
Yeah,
have we?
Topic
It's not-
or format
No.
or prep or
no
plan.
official topic. I am a regular listener, and I can tell you there are some topics. I mean, it might
there's a
not
few,
be in the blurb, but there are a few recurring themes.
How many episodes have you done of What's Upset You Now, Paul?
I've got no idea, actually. It must be a similar sort of number, because obviously we do
I
2
reckon.
a week.
Yeah.
Maybe more. I don't know.
So you do
know.
2 full-length ones a week now, or do you do...
Well, I mean, they're only 15 minutes, so, they're kind of
But do you not do the
full-length.
longer ones on Patreon, is what I mean?
Yeah, no, we do one of those a week, and then out of that comes the kind of one where it's just me and Sean, and then we do an extra guest episode, so it's about an hour and 15 minutes a week.
Yeah. It's too much
You
work,
want to
innit?
slow
It's too
down,
much
man. You're going to
work,
burn
man.
out.
No.
Why don't you go
Still,
part-time?
sometimes it's like, guys, we need a week off. This is just...
Yeah. That's what I mean. Me and Julian do it sometimes when we just can't find a window to do one. It's like, how fucking... I know. But neither of us are that busy.
People out there
I don't know
managing
what-
to find 10-hour windows 5 days a week. And we're like, I don't know how we're going to make this work this week.
Imagine ringing your
People
boss and
manage to
saying,
leave
"I
their
can't find
house
a-"
at 6 a.m. and get back at 7
Yeah.
and still raise a family. And we're like, right, guys, it's going to be really tough for me this week to find an hour.
I'm burning out, man. I've only laid down for 23 hours today. But that is because of time zones as well, isn't it? Like, when you were
recently
in-
it has. But even there's
when
been
you were
times...
gallivanting around the world.
But there's been times before that where, we're both in London and we just can't find a window. It's like weird. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know what I'm doing with my
But
time.
we do work 20 minutes a night 4 times a week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Right? It's a lot.
We do work
Like,
outside that.
fucking hell.
I know, because I sometimes think, like, when I'm moaning about work, I'm like, bloody hell, I can't believe you're moaning you work for such a short period of time. But the travel, and sometimes it does require you to be in a different city for, 72
Yes.
hours. And I do consider that part of it to be work, particularly when you're in,
Yeah.
no offence to anyone that lives there, somewhere like Birmingham.
All those massage parlours and that. Do you know what I mean? It's like someone's got to do it.
Exactly, man. Someone's got to keep them afloat. You know what I mean?
Someone's got to pay for their studies to better their lives.
Because are you still? Because obviously I've been away for 6 months. This is my first week back in London. And are you still just gigging as solidly as you were last time? I spoke to you?
No.
Like,
I've definitely
you are,
taken off.
you are. I'd say probably one of the most sort of gig-heavy comedians on the circuit.
Do you know what really pisses me off? When every year they do that, like, the list of hardest working comedians, and I'm like, I mean, give me that at least.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell. At least
I featured on
the
that
fact
once. I think I once was in like top 5. And I don't
know who's doing the maths on that, 'cause
I'm a lazy piece of shit. But
They should do the least hard working.
oh mate, Julian, you would win that. You'd be the undisputed champion.
Yeah. wouldn't even go and collect the award and send someone.
Oh man, that'd be
You just doing your acceptance speech from the David Lloyd. You just sat in the fucking jacuzzi there with your phone.
Yeah, I think
it's a great honour, guys. I've got to go.
But yeah, I think it's mad that you've never featured. I don't like, because normally what happens is a couple of the top people on that list tend to be touring comics that have just done a massive tour that year. So naturally, they're going to have done 250 tour dates. But it just obviously that whatever the algorithm that works it out doesn't factor in, because it must have factored in London gigs. That's how because I sort of, when I was on the list, it must have been one of them years where I just did loads of gigs in London, and then like every other weekend would have been somewhere else.
Gigs,
I think it's done from. I think it's all done through one like ticketing place, like N24 or something.
Right.
So I think it's all based on how many. I think. I've looked into this. Why the fuck am I not on that again this year?
You're not doing it, mate. You got to get on some of them N24 gigs, man. Just get on that circuit.
It is purely based on how many gigs you've had listed on one of those things. But
yeah.
But in answer to your original question, no, I am not. Like this week, I'm out 2 nights. Southampton are in the playoffs, so I'm going to that on Friday. And so that's nice.
Yeah, it is because it's that thing of I'm the opposite at the minute, like because I've been in Australia where like this, I did the festivals, they're busy, but outside of that, the circuit there is quite small, so you can't be gigging. Right. You're not gigging 3 times a night. And then it's basically you're getting gigs when you can, and like so this since I got back, like I'm just gigging solidly for the next sort of good few, like a good month or two. I'm going to really just get back into the. Yeah, I mean, like this weekend I was out doing a good couple of nights, and then this week I've got a gig every night in London, and then I'm nipping away for the weekend. Like I'm loading it up like this week.
That's where I'm trying to sort of get to now, is because particularly like I did, the new Vauxhall venue that they're purpose building on South Bank.
Oh yeah.
At the moment, it's only the bar that's open. But upstairs they're going to have the guy, forget his name, nice bloke, not Mooch, the kind of like venue manager, like bar manager guy, I forget, Northern bloke, nice guy. Apologies if he listens. But he sort of took me upstairs and showed me the shell of it. So it's going to be a 200-seater upstairs and a 100-seater, and then the bar downstairs, I guess, would take about sort of 60 at full capacity.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of like, for me, obviously, because I live in Winchester, I get the train into Waterloo. Anything that's walking distance from Waterloo, to me, the fact that I don't have to drive, and it's only like 57 minutes on train, they feel like local gigs to me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all central London must be. Like, everything's walkable in terms of, every sort of store.
That's what I mean, like the store, 99 Club, the boat.
Yes.
Any of those weekends. So I'm just going to try and do like a couple of weekends like that a month. And then that's just, you can do 3 or 4 gigs. It feels much better. Walking across the bridge, looking at London. This actually feels like
London's
quite a cool
the
job.
Best place to gig, man, isn't it? Like, just getting
I will
home.
say, for me, I think the audiences can be a little bit young. Like, I prefer sort of 30
clubs.
to 60 is my sort of preferred demographic.
What, for the pussy afterwards and stuff?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
For the scrum.
And, I just feel like under 30, they're a bit cool and don't really sort of...
And they're also grown up in a different world of like, I do think their attention span isn't what other people's is, and like they are more prone to just not like, it's not like you'll get rude people. Like there'll be a 45-year-old geezer who's a rude wanker who like get his phone out and be texting for some coke or something. But that is rude. But there'll be like a 25-year-old getting their phone out, and they're not doing it to be rude. That's their brain, man.
They can't help themselves.
So actually, I don't take it as personally as I would a 50-year-old getting their phone out.
I know, but
if a 50-year-old, I'd be like, no, you fucking know better, mate.
You remember typewriters, mate. Yeah, just put it away.
But yeah, I just feel like with young people, they're sort of, I do think they're a little bit more scatty by nature, but it's sort of, I don't think it's as hard.
ADHD epidemic.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of, it is what it is. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, but then some gigs, I did the boat at the weekend, And like that gets a pretty solid.
Well, that's a bit of an anomaly, really, isn't it? That doesn't feel like a London gig. That and Up the Creek don't feel like
Essex. It's Essex gig, isn't it?
Essex and Kent. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a guy on Friday night Saturday night at the Boat, and it was actually a great gig. But like, there was a guy. It was his birthday, and there was a group of them. They were all like middle-aged geezers and get their partners and all that. And Matt Green went out to host, and literally the first thing, anyone celebrating anything, and all you heard from like one part of the room was a harmonica go off. So this guy brought a harmonica to the gig, and like me and the sound guy looked at each other like someone has brought a harmonica. This is going to be fucking a catastrophe. So anytime Matt was trying to work out who it was, you just hear like just sort of harmonica sound over the next 10 minutes.
He brought
luckily,
that to ruin the show.
100%. It was the guy whose birthday it was, and the security luckily managed to locate him just before I went on. Because I would have, I was jet lagged. I would have lost my fucking mind, man, if somebody was blowing a harmonica.
There are some people that go with the express intention, like as part of a group, and they're like, I can remember doing Up the Creek once, and it was around the time of the Raoul Moat thing, and there was a member of a group that just kept shouting Morty, in like a Geordie accent. Morty. Morty. And it was just so annoying.
Oh man!
And I'm someone that kind of quite famously loses my rag with that sort of shit on stage.
Yeah, you're not. You do have. You've got a short fuse on stage, man. Just like, Julian. I've never seen you lose your temper on stage, Julian.
No, I've felt it a couple of times, just like, oh God, shut up.
Yeah.
But I know that, I don't know, it's hard.
Once you do that, you've lost, because the people that did like you no longer like you as well. I mean, it's the
unless it fits with you, then you go into material you're angry about or something. You know what I mean? I don't know, but if you're, I don't know.
I think.
I would say I have sort of mine has been. I've come out like, hey, how's everyone doing? Something's annoyed me, and I'll fuck off. Within that kind of. You go.
I don't know. Bill Hicks did it, didn't he? Well, he would scream at someone.
Well, I don't think it's kind of who I am on stage, really. So I don't know whether necessarily it's sort of...
you lose control of yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
And I don't think
it's hard to come back. When did it happen recently? Oh, I told her... and I'm not proud of this, but they were knobs. I did Oxford Glee. And there was
you were trying to get the award.
A 5-man posh stag do in the front row, one of whom was sat specifically in the front row. The rest of them were sat behind him. They all had their feet up, and he was there in a confrontational way.
Yeah.
And so I sort of came out, and he said, I'm a reviewer for Chortle. I once gave you 3 stars. And I'm like, you've done your research here.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my God.
So I kind of I told him he should go kill himself, really kind of...
Good.
Oh, you took it well then.
But completely lost it. And it was no longer about a gig. It was like, I was in his face just going, you're a fucking cunt, mate. You're a...
What you got?
You about a foot
you got
from
down
his
off
face.
the stage. Oh,
he was in the front row. I mean, this is low stage. I was like that close. I was going, I thought, it was just the way you were behaving. But it's like, you everything about you. And then from there, this was all within the first 2 minutes.
Oh man!
I could not.
Got another 18 to go.
I could not get it.
So anyone been to Wagamama's? Oh man!
Anyone local?
But I stand by everything apart from saying that you should have because that might have offended someone else in the room, and as we all, I'm sure, that I was like, I wish I hadn't said that. But beyond that, I'm like, you've come here with the intention of being a dick.
Yes.
I think he deserved what you did. I mean, it didn't help your set out, though, did it?
No, definitely.
But I still think that was a really malicious thing that he tried. Bad faith.
He was trying to derail
ruin the show.
And ultimately, he did because you lost your temper, and he's sort of been the catalyst.
He won.
For it.
And they were really unlikable, entitled, kind of posh, sort of like, anyway. But yes, sorry, I forgot what the original point was.
What
Julian, a
that
double-decker bus
action
has
was.
just pulled up behind Julian's head. Look.
I've got to start my shift.
And you can see the person sat at the top. They're looking through the window.
Everyone go on patreon.com/wearetvi.
Gets a look. Yeah, and then you get to look in. Fuck. What bus is that, Julian?
All the cool people at the back.
What bus is it? Are you 14?
I don't know. I don't know what bus it is, actually.
I think
There's a few that go there.
I reckon up until about 10 years ago, I still had that little South London part of me that always wanted to go up. I always went upstairs and sat further down the back of the bus. Like, it's just like, because that's what I always did.
I
Yeah,
don't nowadays. No, I mean, I don't really get on buses, but the handy
I want
buses,
to do whatever
they're
is going to
great.
take the least amount of effort on my part.
Well, that's it.
Obviously-
I'm much more of a downstairs sitter nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
and that's not nothing to do with worried about what's happening on top at the back, but it's just purely
scared to get him.
Sounds like you
bullied
shit
upstairs,
yourself, mate.
mate. Just get the courage and go upstairs.
Mate, scared to go and sit up the back.
Go and sit at the front at the top and
like being
pretend you're the
fucking 12
driver.
again, man.
All right, I'll go and sit at the back.
I remember
my
some
mate-
kid older than me held my pencil case out the window once. 'Cause we used to get
man.
a school bus every day, man. It was just carnage, man.
I had my
Bullying.
bag thrown on the roof of like you remember you used to have the temporary
Oh,
buildings
Yeah.
at school
What,
where they
school
were,
buildings? Yeah.
My bag thrown
Coldest
up there.
buildings, coldest rooms on the planet. Remember, do you ever have to have a class in one of them things during winter? One of
Yeah, yeah.
classes when they were doing
Those
building
temporary
work.
buildings would be temporary, but forever. They're just.
That's why there's that meme that goes round, isn't it? The biggest lie we were told as children was that these buildings are temporary. That was
Yeah. That's so true.
Having to wear like a
We used to
puffer
have to get
jacket during
changed
maths.
in one for rugby.
Really?
Did you play
can't imagine
rugby?
you
I
playing
played
rugby.
once
Yeah, I was-
and was never invited.
I mean,
back.
our
was
school
so
played
bad.
it. I didn't really. I did a couple of games. I was really tiny.
Yeah, me too.
I remember like tackling someone and them just kept running.
You were just on the front
hanging
of
onto
it,
their foot.
like a fly on a
windscreen.
They just get the wipe
Trying to
and wipe
skin
me
me out
off.
of his face so he can see what he's doing.
I just got in his eyeball.
I had quite a rugby school. Like my school weirdly had a really good rugby department, like a couple of good rugby teachers. And some kids from like my school went on to play like professional rugby and like went up to like
And mine.
international. It's weird, isn't it?
That's
Because
a
like,
good
it wasn't
level.
Yeah.
a posh school or anything. It was
No.
like just sort of South London comprehensive, but just happened to have a very good rugby department. Like football was shit.
Ours
Rugby
seemed
was really
quite
good.
Yeah. I never
Like,
liked it.
I knew a guy who ended up at Harlequins or Saracens or one of them. I don't know anything about rugby, but I remember like he was a year above us. So I remember like hanging
Did they
out
get
with him a bit.
preferential treatment as well? Did the like people that were good at rugby were the kind of like golden children? Yeah, same as
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
like scholarship kind of thing, innit? I mean,
like
that
they were
makes
like the
sense, though,
teachers.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
I know. Sort of sets you up for the real world, a world in which
Yeah.
you're not going to even get acknowledged as the hardest working comedian, even when you literally have not been in your house all
I want
year.
to take up rugby, man.
That's just how it goes, mate. You should have played rugby.
yeah. We should do some questions. We've got a bunch of them. Let's just dip in and out and come out and see what else we chat about. This is a weird
There's
one.
quite a
from Josh.
crossover of patrons for
I think
our
there are, you know.
podcasts.
Well, here's
cool.
one actually directly about something. Why does Paul not come to play Shine Festival anymore? He played there as an act, but he'd love it as a punter.
Yeah,
What's Shine,
no, I'd
what
like
is Shine
to.
Festival?
Shine Festival is a kind of sort of a bit of a nostalgia Britpoppy type festival that happens down in
Okay.
Minehead, Butlins. It's really good, actually.
What sort of
they're
bands would play it?
So, I mean, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, like pop.
Blue
so,
Tones.
So it's not necessarily.
Sort of.
Yeah, they would be there. It's not necessarily Britpop. It kind of like predates that as well, but like the Wonder Stuff, Pop Will Eat Itself, Cast. You know,
Right.
kind of 90s.
I love Cast, man.
Brilliant
Yeah.
band, aren't they?
Well, that one tune,
Walk
what's
Away.
that one? You Walk Away. What a tune!
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Walk away.
But they have
Shut up,
like
trying to sing.
It's a little rendition.
It sounded good, all right in my head.
what everyone wants to do when Julian starts singing it.
Run away.
So yeah, but you've not
I'd
performed
love
at
to
any
do it
comedy.
again. the person that was booking it stopped booking it. So I don't know. I think I did speak to them about maybe kind of taking over booking the comedy.
That's the Cars song. Sorry, Sandstorm.
Oh, that's a great tune as well. They're really good.
That's a banger.
They sort of supported Oasis quite a lot back in the day because John Powell was in the Lars, wasn't he? The lead singer.
Right. Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yes, I would like to go back there at some point. I almost went this year. Actually, I forgot. I almost replaced someone and then it didn't happen. So
right.
Hopefully, at some point soon, I will do that again.
Are you doing any festivals this year? I'm not doing any of them.
I am. I'm doing Victorious, which is in Portsmouth, which is sort of the.
I'm doing the Winchester Festival actually.
What's the Winchester Festival?
What's it called?
Paul's like, what the fuck's this?
Do you know what's it called? It's just Winchester Festival, is it?
Not Wickham Festival you're on about?
Oh, it might be Wickham, yeah.
Yes.
For Paul Baker.
Yeah. That's I've done. That
Wickham Festival, yeah.
Winchester did have a festival, but it was just I think it was like a council-run thing, and then it was scouting. That there's sort of those festivals that are sort of a certain size. Scouting for Girls seem to be the headline act at all of them, and Sophie Ellis Bextor. I'd
like Sophie Ellis Bextor, but Scouting for Girls, man, they were at a bloody coronation or something, weren't they? They're fucking come on.
That sort of mid-level festival that they sort of but yes, no, I'm doing Download. I've not done before, so I'm quite looking forward to that.
That's a big one,
your sort of vibe, I reckon. You'll love it.
I'm gonna have to dig out the old denim jacket and get some freaking hair extensions.
Download?
In the back
is that like more
it's a heavy metal festival?
It's a metal festival.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was like a pop one.
No, I think proper metal. I don't know if it's as metal as it used to be.
Festival. I don't know if they've booked that yet, but that's good. Have you taken Twyla to that yet?
No, so I inquired about it last year and there was chat about it.
Yeah.
But I might. Yes, okay, you just reminded me actually. So I'm trying to. That's what I want to do. Is I want to sort of get a couple of festivals in that I can take the family and because like Twyla loves that shit, man.
Yeah.
Like she sort of. I've
taken
her to loads of stuff.
Yeah, she'd have a great time.
Yeah,
I took Iris last year and we went with her cousins and it was brilliant. Because they kind of what they've done there. I think is it Festival Republic or Live Nation? One of the two has kind of come in and taken over all festivals.
Yeah.
In a kind of executive consultant sort of role. So they're like, it's a bit shit really, but what they've obviously said there is you don't need to have these big headliners because it used to be a festival for kids where the headliners were people that we would like to go and see. So you'd have like Final Screen and the Happy Mondays. But I think they've now obviously said you don't need to spend this money. So the music is not as good. Although Grace Jones was there last year, who I went to watch was fucking unbelievably good.
Yeah.
But it's really good for taking kids to have that sort of festival experience.
I did that one in Kent once when I was new, and fucking Bob Dylan was on the Eagles.
Oh yeah,
one is fucking
crazy.
Was it Hop Farm?
Oh, Hop Farm.
I think Prince was on as well. Prince.
Fucking hell.
That's fucking insane. Unless I'm making that up.
I remember.
I'm pretty sure Prince was on.
Who did it? I did Hop Farm as well. And I remember there was some crazy
Prince
sort
opened
of just
for me.
Let's have a look at Hop Farm.
It was good. I did it.
I struggled, man. It was hard. The fucking electric went when I was on stage.
Oh man.
It just went pitch black.
Let's have a look. Hop Farm 2009. Here we go.
Yeah.
The Fratellis. Fratelli. Remember the Fratellis? Fucking hell.
I always get them and Prince mixed up.
You know where they got their name from, don't you? The Fratellis.
Oh, from...
Goonies.
That's it, yeah.
I didn't even know that. That was a guess.
Anyway, this is a real 2009 Saturday, and then the Sundays are basically the Saturday was the Fratellis, the Pigeon
Prince
Detectives, The View. No, this was 2009.
That's so of a time, isn't it?
This is The View, but then obviously Ash, and that would have been a little bit after. Yeah, that would have been a little resurgence for Ash. Florence and the Machine, Noah and the Whale. Right, Sunday. This is a nice little lineup. Paul Weller, The Editors, and the Doves. That's a nice. Here we go. So this was 2010. I think you're talking about, Julian. It was Saturday. Van Morrison, Blondie, Dr. John, and Los Lobos. Saturday, Bob Dylan, Ray Davis, Mumford and Sons, and C16.
Jesus
That's the main stage.
Christ.
I think that's when I was on. So was Prince
Bob
on
Dylan and
at
Ray
all?
Davies on the same Sunday. That is...
Yeah, Prince was not... Oh, hang on, here we go. So 2011. Oh, fuck, I was there, 2011. My name's on the list. All right, so here we go. Oh, this is mental, mate. Friday on the 2011 Hop Farm Festival. Main stage music, Eagles, Brian Ferry, Brandon Flowers, and 10cc. On the next, the big tent had Human League, Ocean Colour Scene. Holy fuck. Comedy stage, Izzy Sutty, Ellis James, Simon Munnery. Let's do
That was
Saturday.
me.
Saturday. Main stage, fuck me.
I was on
Morrissey,
that with them.
Lou Reed, Iggy and the Stooges, and Patti Smith. And the big tent was Gang of Four, Noisettes, and Manu Chao La Ventura. Even the
love
small
Gang of
stage
Four,
had the Guillemots and Carl Barrett on it. This is unreal.
I'm
The
just
mate- this was-
I'm waiting to hear Prince that he wasn't
yeah,
on. I
so
made
hang
that
on, we're
up
going to
today.
get there. Saturday, the 2nd of July, at the comedy stage, Sean Hughes, Stuart Lee, Terry Alderton, Carl Donnelly, and a band of man. And then Sunday,
Bloody hell.
get at Sunday, main stage, Prince, Tiny Temper, and Larry Graham. The big tent, Hot Chip, and the Pierces. Fuck me, that is one of
Prince was doing the little tent.
The
No, he was doing the
problem
main
is-
stage on the Sunday. Fuck me, that is one of
And
the best
apologies to
I knew I
weekends.
didn't make that up.
That's unreal. I didn't know. I've got to say, I didn't know Prince had played there.
I didn't know
The
that
rumor is
either.
that he was booked to play Bestival the year he died, and that's like where the financial problems have come
Right.
from with them. Have you heard that?
No.
Because they had some
I
good
saw that.
lineups as well.
I saw
didn't
the
they?
They
Eagles
did,
there
actually.
in their dressing room.
Like the Sunday night. I mean, I saw Stevie Wonder there, Elton John, and they'd have big like Missy Elliott, Snoop. They'd always have a few big sort of Wu-Tang I saw there. They'd always have some big sort of...
It's crazy.
That's some heavy lineup,
Hot
man.
Farm is... What a
Listen
weird
to
place
this.
to
This is
have
all
it
right.
as well.
We've got to quickly go through 2012 as well, because 2012 Friday,
Yeah.
Peter Gabriel, Ray Davis, George Clinton, and Dr. John in the main stage. Even like the big tent was Nitin Sawhney, the Stranglers, the Futureheads, and the little stage was British Sea Power, I Am Clute, and Field Music.
Love I Am Clue.
Yeah,
I love all
Saturday.
of these bands, but there's a few that you're saying, I'm like, oh, man.
Oh mate, Saturday's got a real curveball on the main stage. Listen to this. So it starts with Bob Dylan, Damien Rice, Patti Smith, and then Sir Bruce Forsyth. Just really closing. I don't know, man.
What?
And the
I mean, Bob Dylan did it sort of twice.
yeah, Bob Dylan did it twice. Patti Smith did it twice. Ray Davis did it twice.
Who the fuck was booking that?
It's unbelievable, mate. The big tent was that Saturday was Primal Scream, Maximo Park, Gary Newman, and the Bread and Roses stage, the smaller stage, was Peter Hook. This is unbelievable.
I can't remember what
man.
year I did it. I definitely did do it because I can remember sort of eating and the Beautiful South were on. So Paul Heaton was sat on the sort of table next to us.
I
can
like a
remember
bit
doing,
of them, man.
Yeah, great. They're doing Glastonbury
They're
this year. It's one of the people
quality,
I'm
aren't
quite
they?
excited to see. Well, it's just Paul Heaton, but doing his kind of songbook, as it were. But like, I can remember doing Reading one time and eating at the same table as De La Soul. And they were all really friendly, like them.
I've met De La Soul. They're really cool. Yeah, they're lovely. Like, I mean,
Friendly
yes,
sort of people.
Yes. Fine, let's finish it. So this was the last year at Hop Farm,
Sorry.
2012,
Yeah.
which turns out I think was, as we now can agree, is the greatest music festival of all time. Sunday the 1st of July, main stage was Suede, Richard Ashcroft, the Psychedelic Furs, and Kool and the Gang.
Jesus.
It was unbelievable.
Oh my God.
I mean, that is just crazy, man. I
Why
don't
did it
remember
stop?
it being that.
I tell
Also,
you what,
why
I do
didn't-
remember.
Yeah.
It carried on. The following year, a new festival went in there, which I did. And
What was
Off
it
the
called?
Curb booked the comedy stage. I can't remember, but it was at the same site as Hot Farm. And what I
Right.
can remember about it is I did it with Russell Kane. Everyone was dying and going, oh, this tent's just a write-off. And then Russell Kane went up and absolutely smashed the living daylights out of it. You're like, all right, there was nothing wrong with the tent. But also, like, where people were doing it to sort of quite tame reactions, the PA that they were using for the comedy stage was picking up the local cab rank. So, like, between sort of
no
like...
one missed their taxis.
You'd be like going,
that was handy.
You know, whatever, you do your joking in a year. Anyone free for a pickup from Sainsbury's? Anyone free for a pickup from Sainsbury's? Not something out of Phoenix Nights.
Yeah. All right, wow. I can't believe that.
I missed that. That was really good.
That is mad.
And sorry, what I was going to say, apologies to anyone who does listen to What's Upset You Now, because I did mention this on there, but have you seen that meme that's gone round where it's a guy with like a kind of Paul Weller haircut and it says underneath it, "I'd like to speak to the manager of Glastonbury, please"?
No.
Because obviously the lineup has gone out this year.
Non-stop.
I haven't been sent that one, but I've seen it a few times and it's just sort of...
I've not even...
But it is that thing... Because there's the 2000 Reading lineup that always gets shared, which is just like unbelievable, you know. And I suppose you just have to get to a point where you accept that perhaps Reading festival lineups are not being booked for 49-year-old men.
Well, that's it, yeah. And also, it is the musical landscape is different. The year 2000, whatever, you know, there was much more indie and rock and whatever in the charts, wasn't there? Like, you know, the big chart stuff was also representative of what you'd call sort of, you know, better quality music. You know, I don't mean that, I mean in terms of like the production and like how it's made and the bands involved and the writing and all that. Yeah. Whereas like now it's not. All pop music now comes through fucking TikTok, so naturally it's just very overproduced sort of bubblegum stuff that's made for that cycle. So the things that get popular now are
a load of old fucking toilet, mate.
But who is? I don't know. What is the
fucking racket?
What's going on at Glastonbury
Coldplay,
this year?
Coldplay, Dua Lipa, and SZA are headliners who I must confess I've never actually heard of.
No, I've not heard of SZA either. Have you heard of them, Julian?
No, I've heard of Dua Lipa and Coldplay.
I've heard of Dua Lipa. She's really fit, and I've seen pictures of her on Twitter. But that's all I sort of really know about. I've not heard any of her songs. I've just seen pictures of her.
She's got a few poppy bangers. I don't know if they'll stand the test of time like Kylie Minogue, but not bad.
And who else? So they're the headliners. That is a That's not a strong.
It's one of those because usually, I mean, I've got sort of like quite a varied taste in music, but I like some quite obscure stuff. So usually I can go, well, I'll go and see that. But even that feels a bit thin on the ground this year. Like the Orb are playing, I'll go and watch them. Orbital, Steve Hillage, they're at Steel Pulse reggae band. I'll go and watch them. There's a few bits and pieces around that I'll go and watch, but I think this year
there are some good stuff even on the Pyramid. Like I just got it up here. You've got LCD
PJ Harvey, I'll go and watch.
PJ Harvey's there. Yeah. Michael Kiwanuka, I really like. Paul Heaton. Yeah. Keen for a bit of a novelty.
Sort of Sunday afternoon sing-along.
Yeah, Idols. The National are on. I don't like the National, even though I saw
Idols.
I don't love them.
I can't get bored with them either.
The Streets, that'll be fun.
I'll probably go and watch that, actually.
Bombay Bicycle Club, Block Party, all right. They're on the other stage.
Not asked at all, either of those two.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, it's not a. Although saying that, I've been to
Fat White Family. I'll go and watch them. Do you like them?
No, I don't know them.
They're fucking
they live
amazing.
Next door to me. Say hi, man.
There we go. Is he just waiting for one of his little sneaky comments? I know. Anyway, there we go. Maybe we're just getting too old for it, is what we're saying. Let's do another question. That one lasted 20 minutes.
Sorry.
Somebody's actually. There is another question about music festivals and about the pros and cons of playing a mainly music festival when you do comedy at it. And
the noise, innit?
And then
pros, you get a free ticket. Cons, it's fucking awful.
Yeah. Well, I don't even want a free ticket, though. I just want to not do it. Pros is you get paid.
I'd say the pros is going to... I like festivals, so I like going to a festival. Yeah, the cons
I'd like it if I had my kids and like...
Reading used to be a good laugh, and we used to do that back in the day when she'd put us all on the same bill and we'd fly down from Edinburgh. Do you remember that guy doing Bloody Marys on the
man, that was one of the best ends to an Edinburgh Fringe of all time. We all cancelled our Sunday show, and then we got that early flight, man, and we were just
5 o'clock. And I've I've never had a more on-board member of air staff in my life. He just kept appearing from round the curtain where he was pouring us Bloody Marys and winking, showing us how much vodka he was putting in them. Do you remember him?
Yeah, man. He was
just
so
this one,
excited.
boys.
Because it was what? It was like a 7 a.m. flight on a Sunday. So, everyone would have been up since 4:30 a.m. to get on that flight. So I think he was just so happy that we were just all just like, can we get a few Bloody Marys? Like, we were clearly still going from the night before. And he just thought it was fun. Yeah. It was livened up his flight. We weren't dickheads. We were just wanted a drink. And, it was great. And then we just carried right through. That night at Reading,
then Tanya used to really look after us as well, didn't she? We'd get there and she'd have kind of set, Jägermeister up for us and all of this kind of stuff. And that was good times, actually.
Imagine doing that now. I'd be dead the next day.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine it being like that and gigging as well, like just getting on it.
I remember going on stage at like 4 p.m. at Reading, having been on like that early flight, and I'd been drinking since Saturday afternoon, and it was now Sunday at 4 p.m. and I'm on stage to a tent full of 1,000 people doing stand-up. Like, I wasn't in any frame of mind to be doing comedy. I was disassociated. I'm watching myself do this gig, just waiting to get backstage.
That sounds like something someone would do for
comic.
That sounds like something someone would do for comic relief. Right. So Carla's going to start drinking on Saturday afternoon. He's then going to fly to another country, and then at 4 p.m. the following day,
people.
I know. People are like, can't do it. It can't be done. Yeah. You weren't even raising money. That was your job.
I was losing money. I was spending on fucking bloody gack. It's horrible. Yeah, I look back and I was like, that was fun, but I absolutely have no desire to ever live like that again. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so beyond that now. I'm just not that person anymore. And I don't miss it. I'm glad I did it, but I don't miss it at all. It's quite a nice grown-up way of moving forward.
It seems like so long ago as well, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And that was I think that was 2013 or 2014. Which one was it?
Yeah.
We did them like back to back, I think.
Yeah.
So here's a question. Let's go listen. This is actually, any stories from recent cruise comedy trips abroad? As I know all three of you have done things like that recently. Because we talked about this on our podcast of I did my first ever cruise gig.
Oh yeah,
and so Chris did the best one ever where he got paid to not do the gig.
Amazing.
I did my first one, and the gigs were fine, and I was actually a bit almost disappointed that they were. I was hoping for like a story, and it ended up just the only story was I was ill at the time and didn't realise I was internally bleeding on board. But the actual gigs were fine.
What cruise was it you did?
I did a P&O Pacific Explorer or something that had come from New Zealand to Australia, and I jumped on it for the last 2 nights of its journey and did two shows one night.
To do?
2 shows one night, same 45
set.
minutes, different audience. Yeah.
That's good.
What have you done? What's the normal vibe?
I did one, 3 different half-hour sets, 2 of which I had to do 3 times a night. And
what's a 6?
I died 3 times a night. Both nights.
Oh my god!
You know, I was like, I literally do not want to go back on there.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
I mean, and I'm pretty sort of, I think it's fairly accessible stuff. I felt like fucking Paul Foot. People just staring at me. What the hell is he on about?
Oh man!
God, who's this zany guy?
I've done it like that. At corporates, you realise how and I suppose cruises are like corporates, but extreme versions where it's you're having to perform with serious seasickness to a load of 75-year-old racists.
Who books it? That sounds...
Funny enough, I actually bumped into Andre Vincent on the train on Saturday night, and he's been out doing these Virgin ones, and I'm like, they sound better.
What, gigs?
I'm not saying I'll never do it again. I just think that the money is. I know there's something wrong with me, but there's. I think the problem was with this P&O ones, the money wasn't good enough to kind of go like, this isn't even. I could earn this much money without being at sea.
Right. Okay.
With the Virgin ones, you go like,
30 grand don't go that far, does it? Do you know what I mean?
30 fucking quid a gig, more like it works out on those ones. They're like 30
the
grand.
P&O are supposed to be the hardest ones, and the Virgin are supposed to be the best ones.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Russell
What
Hicks
happens on a Virgin cruise? Why is it different? Why is it a different?
You get loads
clientele?
of virgins. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's slightly younger. I think you're not on your own.
The gigs are better set up. Yeah.
Right,
You're doing it in an
okay.
actual kind of like comedy club setting. I understand.
But that's like the one I did was that it was like a comedy club. It was set up like a comedy club. It had a big thing at the back saying it was called the Sit Down Comedy Club. You know, as they come in, they're told like, you know, it's for 18 plus. It's going to have adult themes. Like it was really hammered home that it was just a comedy
sounds
show.
all right though. That sounds like a good one you did.
Like,
but you did
actually-
yours from Australia, didn't you?
Yeah.
Maybe it's different here than the
Yeah,
P&O
yeah.
one.
I do think as well it's geographical, isn't it? Like people that go on cruises in Australia, because they're so far from everywhere, you know, I think people would get a cruise to go around the New Zealand islands. There was loads of people on it that were my age and around younger. There was younger couples on it, like 30-year-old couples.
I know.
'Cause they get a trip around.
People love them.
Whereas it's a different thing, you know. I think
I would never go on a cruise on holiday.
I wouldn't like it, man. I'd
My
sooner
mum and
just
dad
be in a
go. Well,
hotel
they
in
used to,
Greece.
but like, fuck
really.
that.
You do wake up in a different place each morning, I suppose. There's an appeal, isn't there? But I don't want to be on a boat
There's easier ways
rocking
to do
about,
that,
man.
mate. Just become an alcoholic. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't like the
Wake up
ocean
in the
either.
park.
I get freaked
Again.
out by like.
Get back on the crack,
What's
mate. But yeah, let's do another one. Somebody's asked. Katie has asked: is Showbiz Mikey single? That's your producer from What's City now.
No, he's
He's
not, no.
single. Sorry, Katie. Just got a full-on knockback there live. Laters.
Katie took an L. Just bang him over some pics, Katie. You know what I mean? You never know.
It's true, actually. Just here's a question from Joe. Just been to Munich. Had quite a few sausages. How many sausages do you think you could eat in one sitting? I understand Carl's a vegan. However, it's just hypothetical. But I can do vegan sausages. How many sausages in one go do you reckon you could eat?
What, for a competition?
Well, just
I've
just
been
to set your record.
I've been to Berlin a few times where you're eating the currywurst all the time, and I mean,
Oh yeah, but they're bigger than a normal sausage. Like, you know, I think
What, just one
you need to have a
standard size
standard
sausage?
size. Yeah.
20.
I reckon
Fucking hell.
that's a lot of sausages. I thought you were going to say like 10. That's a higher number than I expected.
You're not wrong, mate. You don't know who you're fucking dealing with there.
Oh shit! Yeah, I mean, but then this is the thing. It sounds
20?
like that sounds
20
doable.
sausages.
If you had to do it for like $5 grand or something, I could
I'd just
probably
do it
manage
for fun,
20.
man. If someone wants to buy me 20 sausages,
Just do it for I'll do it for free sausages.
I'll just do it for lunch.
But I think you'd be surprised how hard it is. Like, it's the same. I'm sure I've told it on this podcast before about my mate Garrett. We once went to a curry house after the pub, and like he just didn't fancy eating a curry, but he was hungry. But it was like he's not really a curry guy, and
Racist.
He's from the west of Ireland, man. He's not built for
there
it
you go.
genetically.
He ain't eating that fucking stuff.
That slop. Oh no. Hey,
Nah, man.
I think he's actually now his palate has opened up over the years. He now lives in Europe, and yeah, he's doing all right. This was back in the day, man, when he was like a young man, and he didn't want a curry, so he just ordered. He went, I'll just eat poppadoms. And then he was like, can I just get loads of poppadoms? And they were like, how many do you want? And he guessed that he could eat 50 poppadoms, right? So he ordered 50 poppadoms.
Not the leading tower of Pisa.
You can't eat 50 M&Ms.
Imagine the waiter trying to bring them over.
It wasn't on one plate.
We had to see past them.
50 is the
ordered
wrong
50.
number to
And
eat
it, like,
anything.
And so we all were
50
laughing.
peas.
And we were like, you're never going to eat 50 poppadoms, mate. And he goes, what? They're only like, it's like crisps, isn't it? So they brought them over, like separate plates. It was mad. The towers were massive. And then,
I mean,
on
50
my life,
crisps is
he
a lot.
tried to eat as many as he could. I don't think he got through like 7 or 8. Like, he really just hit a wall after. He hadn't
What
hit
are they
double
made
figures.
of, poppadoms?
Is it gram flour? Is it one of those? It's sort of like
They're deep fried, right?
Yeah, they are fried.
Are
Yeah.
That's why they taste so delicious.
They love. I mean, I love
nice, aren't they?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, me too.
But you can't eat it. It turns
What,
out,
when you get the little things that you dip in them, do you put over each of
mango chutney?
Yeah, I
bit
don't really
of
like lime.
each
I don't
thing?
like lime pickle very much.
Oh, I love lime. I don't
lime
like
pickle.
hot foods at all, but lime pickle, man, for some reason. I like it.
But anyway, right, let's do another question.
But yes, 20 sausages is my...
Okay, cool. Let's see, what else?
It's his submission.
Carl, this is a question that's aimed at me, but we can talk about just visit trips overseas. You said that you'll be glad to return to Blighty, but what one thing from your daily routine in Oz would you bring back to the UK if you could? Well, I mean, this is the thing. Like, I miss London. And
Walking
all that,
on a beach, I bet,
walking
in the morning.
down on or by the beach, just seeing the sea on an almost daily basis is like it is so good for your mental health. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
like,
could just move to Brighton.
I could move to Brighton, but then when I lived down in Sussex, that train was just long enough to do my head in, you know. So it's, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's London, or you know, if I was from Brighton, I'd like to live in Brighton. Because I'm from London, I feel like there's no coastal part I'd like to live in enough to warrant the journey. Because I've got no ties to it. But I think, you know, I don't think people from like big cities and that understand until you try it for a sustained period of time how healthy it is just living somewhere that's chilled and especially sunny and beaches. Like that's why everyone in fucking them parts of Australia that are just chipper. Morning. Everyone's so friendly.
Well, there is a medical
nice.
sort of thing, isn't there? Looking out at the sea, you're kind of like the muscles behind your eyes are relaxed because you're looking at, you know, like you're not having to constantly focus on things that are closer and further away.
Definitely better for you. I wonder if there's less glasses prescribed in places where there is a long view, like you can see far.
I don't know.
Like
I've never ever heard or thought about that. That's a good
interesting. I might do the research.
Yeah.
Did you see any like snakes or anything out there, or spiders?
I saw one snake when I was in Brisbane,
mate.
but it was a very brief. And it was just, I saw it just as it was near a fence as I was walking past it. It was brown as well. So initially I was like, "Fuck, is that a brown snake? They're like really dangerous." But the moment
might be the lump of shit.
The moment I saw it, it obviously heard my steps and it just went under a fence. And I just messaged some people going, I just saw a snake.
Oh, God, even just the thought of it's making me feel weird.
I found a snake in the New Forest when I was little, an adder.
That's Adder Central, yeah.
And I captured it and took it home and threw it in front. Everyone was having a picnic at my aunt's house and I threw it down. Everyone screamed. I was about 9. It was a big fucking adder, man.
Yeah, I know, yeah. They've got them at the golf course where I play. They've seen them over there sometimes.
But no, I mean, that was I saw loads of spiders, you know, but like nothing. I saw a few like huntsmans, but none of the big huntsmans. I saw some sort of medium huntsmans.
Do you see any kangaroos?
Saw not wild kangaroos. So I wasn't anywhere where they were this time.
What, domestic ones?
No, like, you know, I went to like sort of, you know, you go to like a wildlife park and there'll be some knocking about.
Yeah. With your air gun.
I went to see alligators wild yesterday. In Florida.
Did you?
Really? Fucking hell.
Yeah, alligators aren't as dangerous as crocodiles, are they? Is that true?
No. So there was one in the lake out the back of where we were staying in this villa, and it was probably like a teenage sort of one, so it was kind of mid-size, and people were like feeding it from the bank.
Yeah, I think basically it's saltwater crocodiles are the ones that you don't fuck with. Freshwater crocodiles are pretty skinny and they're still a bit long.
You can get in and swim with them and do a thunder roll.
With freshwater crocodiles, I think
let them nibble your arm.
Very rare a freshwater crocodile would attack somebody, even if you're swimming in the same lake as them. Saltwater crocodiles.
I saw a lion yesterday.
Where were you?
I went to a wildlife park yesterday in Kent. It's a rescue one, like they're all rescue.
Okay. Yeah.
But
really
lions
they're not
are
local
fucking...
to Kent. That's what it is.
Nah.
Left over from Prince's set at Hop Farm.
But they're fucking lions are fucking awesome, aren't they? Like, I know you see them on Instagram or whatever, but like their fucking growl is so deep and bassy, man. It's so intimidating. Imagine you're in the fucking woods or
like
wherever they are.
Saltwater crocodiles. If you ever see a saltwater crocodile up close, I was in Darwin about 5 or 6 years ago, and we went to like this
Derby?
Darwin up in northern Australia. And they had there's a crocodile park where this old madman, like 60 years ago, or like 50 years ago, bought this big block of land and just he created like this place where he
like
saves...
the Lion King. No, not the Lion King, the Tiger King.
Yes, pretty
crocodile
much. But there was a
Dundee.
there was a good purpose for it. He wanted to save all the because they used to there was a point where crocodiles were almost going to go extinct in Australia, right? Because people were just killing them because they were pests and they were eating their livestock and that. So this guy up in the Northern Territories,
out of them.
yeah. So he just set this place up that if there was problem crocodiles in local areas, rather than kill them, he'd like, pick them up and move them to this. Like, it's like a retirement home for crocodiles. And you can just go and see these. Some of them are so old, but they are massive. Like I'm talking, 20 meters long, like the fucking dinosaurs, and they're so still.
They basically are dinosaurs, aren't they? Like that have just carried on living.
Yeah. And if they're behind, they're just behind chainmail sort of fence, so you can literally you can put your face up next to this eye. And it's just the most intimidating. The noise that comes out of them as well.
Yeah.
Can't they go like 30 miles an hour as well? Are they not like quite...
Yeah.
What, on land?
No, on a moped.
So, yeah.
What?
Not on a lime bike, mate. Yeah, but imagine they can run at the speed of traffic.
Yeah, they're fast once they get up to speed. I don't think they're
that.
I don't reckon
How
their
do they do
acceleration
that
is
physically
amazing.
with their little
I think you could probably
arms?
outsmart them by doubling back, but I mean, you're not going to be thinking straight if you've been chased by a fucking 20-foot
jump on top
crocodile,
of
are
one,
you?
wouldn't you?
Yeah. Just do a backflip, land on it, and then you're sorted. Yeah.
Fuck that. 30 miles an hour? That's Usain
I think I might have
Bolt.
that wrong, but yeah. I think...
Yeah, it's got to be wrong.
I mean, but
if they were doing 100 metres, can you imagine one beating Usain Bolt in 100 metres?
Yeah, but it's acceleration as well. I think they take a bit of getting up to speed. But 30 miles an hour is probably wrong, but they do go way faster than you'd imagine. Like, they would catch you if you tried to run away.
Bears run at about 30 or 40, don't they?
Fucking hell.
How fast
They
do
gallop,
crocodiles
though,
run?
like, on all fours.
Yeah, 32 kilometres an hour, so not like...
Oh, so it's 20, it's over 20 miles an hour, though, isn't it?
7 miles an hour.
That's 20,
still
20
a lot quicker than we
21 or 22 miles an hour, isn't it?
American crocodiles, 32 kilometres an hour.
I mean, that's quicker than you two.
Oh, shit, I've just seen the time. Let's do a couple more questions. This is a question for you, Paul. Have you managed to keep your promise to yourself and not buy any more jackets?
Have I not bought any jackets? I've been buying a lot of short sleeve shirts. Is my recent. I don't think
I've gone through a phase recently of buying just totally. I've never really been a polo shirt wearer, even though I know you like a polo, don't you?
Yeah.
But I've never really, and I've just in the last, I would say 6 months in Australia, I've bought like 5 or 6 Lacoste, just classic polo shirts.
I've got a Lacoste one on now, actually. The only problem is they kind of like lose their they shrink
At
up.
the bottom.
They do a little bit, yeah.
Kind of,
I always slightly size up. I slightly size up in t-shirts because I
only wash them at 30. They end up sort of a bit boxy.
Yeah. But I tuck on I like to tuck a polo.
End up looking like SpongeBob SquarePants.
You must have a big wardrobe, man.
I've got too many clothes.
Don't you ever sell stuff on Vinted or anything like that?
No, I just hate getting rid of stuff. I'm a bit of a hoarder.
Yeah, man. Do you never give it to charity shops?
I have done, yeah. I've given like sacks of that. That's more what I'm likely to do. I've given a few sacks away. I literally
did a sack yesterday. I did 2 big bags of stuff to charity shop. Some of it was fucking good stuff, but like I just have to. I have this thing of once every year, maybe 18 months, I just go fuck it, stop. Because in my head, I do what Julian's saying. I think I'll sell it on Vinted, and then the thought of
I've never done
organising it. I just go, I convince myself, just give it to charity, man. The money goes to a good place.
You've got to go and post it and stuff.
Yeah, it's not worth the, and you end up selling stuff for about £4 as well. It's like,
yeah.
I'd be more offended if I give it away. I feel like I'm doing something good.
Yeah.
Whereas, if I sell it for £5, I'm going to be angry that
I just don't like the charity shop workers, man. They get on my nerves. We spoke about before, didn't we? Like they're always moody, man.
Oh, there's the one I got off is a really nice guy. Actually,
I want one where I find a nice, like, employees, and I'll give it all to there.
We need to do,
Or like those clothing banks, you could take it to.
You can take it to those, yeah, totally. But I did so I did a big clear out when we got back last week. I sort of got all these bags of clothes out, and I thought I'm just going to cut my wardrobe down and have less out hanging up. So I've just got like 5 jackets, 5 polos. Like, I wanted to have like almost a Batman style wardrobe, like trousers and jeans. Just have it. And so I've done it, but and I put some stuff in storage. I put all my winter stuff just away. Don't need winter stuff in a minute, do I? And then I just went through loads of other stuff and just was like, I'm getting rid, mate. I'm gonna get rid. I had a real cull.
Well,
really vacuum seal your winter stuff.
It's a good thing to do, but like
just in a couple of big bags.
Hard.
Yeah. I did find some wicked stuff that I've forgotten about. That's the best thing about if you have got a lot of clothes and enough that you keep some out of the way and some visible. It's nice when you do a replenish and you find the things that you've forgotten about.
Yeah,
you try them on and you're like,
that
is nice. I've got a lovely. Oh, it's actually just out of shot. I've got a sort of
lovely dress,
pretty green Harrington that I forgot I bought. I've only ever worn it once. Yeah. It's a gorgeous thing. Yeah. So loads of things like that
have come back, and I'm like, oh god, yeah. But then sometimes you'll get stuff out and go, why did I stop wearing that? And then you wear it out once and go like, oh, I remember now. It makes me like,
oh yeah, everyone keeps shouting.
Because I like those. Exactly, you're getting beaten up by local school kids.
Oh yeah, I don't like being in headlocks.
I don't enjoy having my head stuck down the toilet. So
like being bog washed.
That top you've got on, Cole, I quite like the Amor Lux, the sort of Breton stripe.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Like the sort of like
Do they come in heterosexual, those tops?
But it is, the ones that I have a slightly low cut neck, and it makes me look like a 1920s weightlifter. Do you know
this one as well.
Gym,
like down the end of the pier, like in a pair of
little tash
with a tash.
That's it. Yeah.
The dumbbells,
oh god,
the
this is a
big
really good
rounded.
top. Why did I stop wearing this? And you never realise the little quirks of a sort of item of clothing until you're already out in it, do you? You wear it to a gig and go mate, this looks like I'm from, wherever. But yeah, there we are.
Or one of your mates just says one little word or something. You know what I mean? Like you wear something that looks a bit French and you walk into your mates in the pub and one of them's like, ooh la la. And you're like,
there's nothing like.
What's going on?
No.
I had a Paul Smith shirt that was like blue and orange check. And someone realised as soon as I got into the pub that it looked like the shirt that they wear in Sainsbury's. Is it fucking all right, McCaffrey? You've been working in Sainsbury's.
There's a spillage on aisle 7.
Yeah, exactly, all of that.
It kills you, man, because you're like, you've not seen it and you spent all that money on it.
No.
It's brutal.
And I did work in Sainsbury's, but not
I think I might have that.
Shirt.
I've got a Paul Smith shirt. It's long sleeve that's got orange and blue and navy and I might have a similar
bloody one. It's a nice shirt, but
I left it in Australia.
It's all
but yeah,
you could guarantee if you go out in an item of clothing that's a little bit kind of out there, that someone in a friendship group will make the link between that.
Or if you wear it on stage. I've done it.
That's why I don't have friends.
I had. I've got a couple of really nice old-fashioned trousers. Like a high-waisted, sort of slightly bigger trouser, and I love them. I wear them around the daytimes and that. I thought I'm just going to wear them on stage. I wear them normally. Why can't I wear what I wear? Obviously, there's not much difference between what I wear on and off stage, but on stage I tend to keep it a little bit more smart. I wear a little jacket on stage and things like that. I just thought I'm just going to leave these trousers on, man. Just put a nice jacket over it. And literally, I'd been on stage for about 10 seconds and some bloke in the front just shouted something about my trousers. And I was like, oh, man, this is fucking brutal. And he was really pissed up as well.
Oh, Bugsy Malone up there.
We could have been anything that we wanted to be.
Tomorrow.
And it just fucking ruined them for me. I've never worn them on stage again, man. It's like, it's a mad how you
pull out your splurge gun and start.
What up, you
all right, mate. Don't splurge me. Sorry, mate.
Oh, fucking Fat Sam.
Oh man,
what a film, man.
Yeah.
That was a classic.
That's so good.
When I saw that as a kid, it blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Me too. Amazing.
Oh, mate. So good.
Let's quickly do this. And
Bonnie Langford was in it, wasn't she?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Julian, there's a
Quality.
question. In a Dubai pod, you said that you've never done stand-up in Australia, but would like to. Why haven't you? And will you now take steps to? Because we've talked about this before. You don't want to go. You've got no interest, Paul, if I remember correctly.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Paul hates Aussies.
I don't hate Aussies at all, but it's just never somewhere that's really.
Oh, it's just Aborigines, isn't it? Sorry, not all Aussies.
I am slightly worried about snakes and stuff, to be honest with you.
Sorry.
Julian, are you? And they're asking if you ever have any plans to go down there.
I'd love to. I did get offered to go there just after or during lockdown because. But it was 3 months.
When they wouldn't have to see good on their invite. Julian, come down. There's no planes. Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, well, we did ask.
We'd love to have you, yeah. But no, I'd love to go for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's quite a long way to go for 2 weeks, but I see what you mean.
Yeah. I just...
All right, let's do quick, just quite and rattle through some of these quickly before we wrap up. Who was the biggest prick at your school and why? It's quite a fun question, that.
Oh, God.
Do you remember?
Probably me, to be honest with you.
I don't really remember. There was a couple of guys I think were pricks, but I can't remember their names. Like there was a few just dickheads in it who were just like, just thought they ran the place and they weren't. They were just dumb, you know, sort of dumb kids that were just big.
They're called teachers. I don't know. There was this one dick, yeah, man. Like there was a lot of dicks in my school, man. There was like 200 kids in each year.
Exactly.
Like, it's a big school, yeah. Me, maybe at some point, people might say me. I always thought I was quite a scared, nervous kid, but people I went to school with said that I was really like mouthy and piss-takey.
That's like that episode of Friends, isn't it, where Monica realises that she was actually, do you know, where she's
Yeah, it was a bit like that. I was like, oh.
I definitely remember. I thought I was more shy and retiring than my teachers remember. Like I still know a couple of my teachers.
Because inside you judge your like how you're feeling, but on the outside it's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've mentioned this on here, but my final year report, the head of year just wrote in head of year's comments at the bottom in capital letters, "I despair."
Oh man, brutal.
I had some awful reports as well, man. Like deeply psychological. Like it was a hot like. I had a lot of potential, but like he's deeply disturbed. Like it was just fucked. We read it out when I was like 18.
I won't lie,
like,
mate, they've got you banged to rights there. To be fair, they've called that.
I had
really
like
accurately.
meetings with like. Do you remember Ilya? Ilya was like, I don't know, are they still around? They're like the school board
Right.
of all the schools and that. I'd have big meetings with like Ilya heads and like,
Yeah.
like, there'd be 10 people in the office. But I don't know. It could
the
have
answer
been
to that
me.
question then is you were the biggest prick in the school.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Yes, I might need to go, actually.
Yeah, that's all right. Right, so good to be back. It's nice to be back on the same time zone, and our last sort of it's
welcome
nice
home.
and not
It's
one
been
of us
fun.
being
It's been a fun
knackered.
one, isn't it?
I hope that was
fun.
okay.
No, it's good fun.
No,
man.
it was
Thanks
fun,
for
man.
joining us, and people obviously go over and
Thanks
check
for
your
having me.
podcast
Pleasure
out.
as always. My favourite
Thanks,
podcast.
everyone.
So.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Mine too.
Do you know the only podcast I
Listen
listen
to what's
is
upset you now. I'm
I
sure
need-
they all know.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, yours is the only comedy podcast I listen to. And I sort of go. What I do is every 6 months I'll just listen to a load of them while I'm on the train and tubes. But like I really only listen to like Louis Theroux's podcast. I listen to like some weird Irish one about
I
Irish
listened
politics.
to Fly on the Wall with David
What's
Spade and
that?
Dana Carvey. Have you ever listened to that? It's about
No.
Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
That's worth listening to.
I might give that
I've
a
never
listen.
watched an episode of
I need to
Saturday Night
plug other
Live.
people's
So
podcasts.
do I need to have watched Saturday Night Live?
You wouldn't
to
need
know what
to.
they're on?
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not. It's very funny.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up.
Thanks for having me.
coming on.